I'm a savage, yeah. Classy, bougie, ratchet, yeah. Sassy, moody, nasty, yeah. Hacking, stupid, what's happening, bitch, what's happening, bitch, I'm a savage, yeah. Classy, bougie, ratchet, yeah. Sassy, moody, nasty, yeah. Hacking, stupid, what's happening, bitch, what's happening.
Okay, so I'm just gonna do my brows off camera and then come back. I just filled in my brows with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow Pomade in the color medium brown, and I cleaned them up with the LA Girl Pro Conceal in medium beige. And then I just primed my lids with the LA Girl Pro Conceal in the shade Light Ivory. Now I'm going to go into my Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance palette, and I'm going to take the shade Burnt Orange and put that down as my transition color. I'm going to use the Morphe M332 brush to do that. Now I'm just going to wipe off Burnt Orange on a paper towel. And I'm going to go back into the same Modern Renaissance palette with the same M332 brush and go in with Golden Ochre to buff this out some. I think because I am wearing a yellow shirt, I want to incorporate some yellow into this eye look. And so I'm just going to go into my Zulu palette by Juvia's Place. And I'm going to take this yellow and I'm going to use that to blend out this orange into my lid. I've since learned since doing this and from watching someone else's tutorial about packing yellow onto the lid that when you are applying yellows, you do not want to swipe it. You want to pack it on so that you get as much color payoff as possible. Same brush, wiping it off on a paper towel, and I'm going to take Golden Ochre and blend that yellow from the Zulu palette into my brow bone. I really want the yellow to be the star of the show on my lid, and so I'm going to spritz my brush and then go back in, and hopefully that makes it more in your face. Yeah, I'm really just, it looks okay on camera, but in person, I feel like it just looks like a confused sunflower, and that's really not the look that I'm going for. And so I'm gonna go into my Too Faced Chocolate Gold palette and take the color Cocoa Truffle and just deepen that burnt orange a bit. Hopefully that makes it a bit. Same M332 brush. I promise I have other brushes, but I just really like how dense this one is. It's great for packing on color and like buffing it out. I'm finally going to take a different brush. This is the Morphe M200 brush, and I'm going to go in with that yellow and just blend Cocoa Truffle and the yellow together. Okay, what I'm going to do now is take my LA Girl Pro Conceal and apply some of that onto my lid so that I have a sticky base for my black to adhere to. This was not supposed to be a cut crease, but that's what it ended up being because I'm a one-trick pony, and like out of habit, I just applied my lid in that dome shape. But if I don't like how it looks with the black, then I'll just buff it out with the transition color. Now I'm going to take this Morphe M204 brush, and I'm going to take the shade Decadent from the same Chocolate Gold palette and pack that onto the area that I applied concealer. I just wanted to emphasize to you guys that I'm using patting motions to pack on the black instead of swiping motions. It's just easier to get more color payoff. And also the concealer doesn't mix with the shadow and get gross on your brush and then get gross in your eyeshadow. And it's just the best way to apply tons of color, I've found. Okay, so I am really not digging this black cut crease. It looks really harsh and unpleasant and just not what I'm going for. If that's what you like, that's cool, but that's not what I'm into. So I'm going to take this little Nameless Walmart brush that I got in a kit couple years back, and I'm gonna go back in with cocoa truffle and just try and buff this out and make it look a bit less harsh. Actually, I think what this needs is for it to be more of a cat eye, and so I'm just gonna take this out a bit more into the outer V of my eye, just to give it that cat eye shape. In the process of buffing it out, I'm gonna wipe off the brush on a paper towel just because the black and the brown are mixing, and I don't want to bring that black up any further, just the brown. And so I'm gonna try and keep my brush as clean of the black as possible in the process of blending it out. Ooh. We've lost the yellow, and so see how that black is really high? I don't like that. So I'm gonna take the same, not the same. I'm gonna take my M332 brush and that yellow and try to bring some of that back onto the lid. I did not anticipate losing control of that black like that, but you'd always anticipate expect the unexpected, and whatever. I'm wiping it off so I don't carry that black up any higher, and I'm gonna go in with this M332 brush and take Cocoa Truffle and try to cover up that greenish black that I'm not a fan of. Ooh, this is too big. Don't do this. Get a smaller brush. I'm going to take the M222 brush so I have a bit more control of where I deposit that brown and don't lose my yellow. And just pack that on top instead of buffing, because the buffing is mixing them. See, this is a trial and error. I'm learning this as I go. I've never done this before, never attempted it. I just like to coordinate my clothes with my eyes. I'm gonna go in with my M200 and Golden Ochre and try and blend this into my brow bone some, because we just lost that completely. I've just cleaned up all of the fallout with a makeup wipe, and I'm gonna go into the Zulu palette and take this dark brown shade and just make this into more of a smoky cat eye shape, if I can. I've never tried this before, so we're gonna see. I like this brown a bit more than the Cocoa Truffle because the Cocoa Truffle is definitely more cool toned, and the brown from the Zulu palette's definitely got a bit more of a red undertone, and it's just much warmer and richer, I feel. It's more of a true chocolate. Okay, I definitely like how this one looks a lot more than this one, and I think this one just needs more black, so I'm gonna go in with that. I'm gonna go in with the M204. I'm gonna go in with the M204 brush that I used to pack on the black in the beginning and just pack it a little bit higher so I have a bit more black to blend into my cat eye. I'm gonna do the same on this eye for the sake of symmetry. Now that I have that on as my base, I'm gonna take the NYX glitter primer and apply that to my lid as an adhesive for the glitter. I like to just put a couple dabs of this directly on the lid and blend it out with my ring finger. You can use a brush if that's what you like to do, but this is my personal preference. Okay, now for the glitter, I'm going to take my Morphe M124 brush, and I'm going to take the Too Faced Chocolate Chip palette and take the shade Black Sugar and pack that onto everywhere that I applied the glitter primer. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to spray my brush with a bit of setting spray so that I pick up a bit more glitter. Sorry that I said bit so many times. I don't know if you can see that, but it looks much more glittery in the pan than it does on the lid. Well, I tried. I wasn't really going for tons of glitter, but a little bit more than this would have been nice. Now I'm just gonna take Primavera from my, oh my God! Oh my God! I forgot. Can I move freely through my own? No! Okay, now I've primed with my Lancome Le Base Pro very generously, and then I spot concealed with my Anastasia Beverly Hills foundation stick in the shade Tan. Don't buy these, they're terrible. Get Lancomes. I spot concealed over all of my blemishes and hyperpigmentation, and now I'm going to go in with the Ordinary's Coverage Foundation in the shade 3.0Y and apply that pretty generously, but it is very full coverage, so you don't need to. I just, and I'm gonna blend this in with my Real Technique sponge. It is damp. I usually do not wet my sponge for my foundation to blend it in, but it is wet today because I just washed it. A little trick is if you want fuller coverage with your foundation, don't wet the sponge because that definitely shears it out. Come on, coverage. Now I'm just going to take my Anastasia Beverly Hills foundation stick in the shade Walnut and contour. Now I'm going to conceal with my Maybelline Master Conceal Camouflaging Concealer in the shade 40 Medium. If you want more coverage out of your concealer, let it sit for a bit. Not a bit, like 90 seconds. Let it dry down and get a bit more tacky, and you'll have more coverage out of it. So I'm going to blend out this last. I'm going to let it sit for 60 seconds after I blend this out. Now I'm going to take my Morphe M460 and blend out my contour. I'm just going to blend out the edges of the contour so that there are no harsh lines on my face with my Real Technique sponge. Just blend out any creasing, and then I'm finally going to blend in this concealer. Now I'm gonna set the face with a very little bit of Sacha Buttercup setting powder and a Black Beauty blender. And this is very slightly damp. I do not believe in baking in the wintertime. I recently overexfoliated and damaged my moisture barrier, so my skin has been even drier than is usual for winter. And so I'm just using the barest minimum of powder to set my face. Now I'm gonna go with my horribly shattered Black Radiance, what is this? Pressed powder in the shade Warm Hazelnut. I'm just gonna tap a little of the dust that's here with an Eco Styles contour brush. I don't know, it doesn't have a name on it, but it's just shaped like this. And I'm gonna use that to set my contour. And just to be safe, I'm gonna go back in with my Real Technique sponge and just make sure that it's blended and pressed into the skin. Now to bronze, I'm going to take my Struggle City Physician Formulas Bronze Booster, no name, it's scratched off. I'm going to use the brush that came with it and just bronze around the face as desired. Which really is just here. I like a little transition shimmer to my highlight so it's not super visible stripes on the face. Now to highlight, I just took Primavera from my Modern Renaissance palette and my Morphe M416 brush on the brow bone. I'm going to take my Makeup Forever Pro Light Fusion Undetectable Luminizer I believe it's in the shade 2. It doesn't say on here, but I'm pretty sure it's like the second. They only have like 1 and 2, and I'm pretty sure this is 2. And I'm going to highlight the bridge of my nose, the tip of my nose. I'm going to create a...
What do you mean? I can't find it. You can't find the trash bag from under the sink? Can't go in the kitchen.
Carrington, come get a trash bag.
Go get a trash bag from under the sink.
Come on, Carrington. I'm just going to take the same Makeup Forever highlight and an Equal Style stippling brush, I believe, and apply that to the high points of my cheekbones. Isn't that pretty? I'm just going to check to see. I like to blend my highlight with my ring finger. And so I'm just gonna do that around the edges. Make sure there's no stripes on my face. I didn't put on my blush. Now I'm going to take my Real Techniques blush brush and this Tarte Amazonian Clay 12-hour brush in the shade Pamper. And I'm gonna... With blush, I don't like to bring it past this point because I have a very round face, and I find that bringing it onto the cheek sort of emphasizes the roundness. So that's a trick people with round faces. I don't know if you've noticed that I'm not bringing any of these colors down past this because I'm trying to create some contour to my face, or create some dimension, some shadow, chisel it, whatever. And I'm just putting that right under the highlight. For my inner corner highlight, I'm going to go back into the Chocolate Gold palette, and I'm going to take Gold Dipped, and I'm going to apply that to my inner corner. I think I'm going to take a bit of... I always put color under my eyes because I just really like that. And so I'm going to take this same brown from the Zulu palette and put that under my eyes. Oh, look at that. That's so pretty. Maybe use a smaller brush than I did, but I was just excited. Now I'm going to set my face with the Scandinavia makeup finishing spray. This also has a bit of the bridal finishing spray in here. I just give it a good shake and apply generously. And I'm going to go in while it's still damp and blend out any creasing that I see because I don't want to set any creases. Oh, another tip for people who crease under their eyes. That's also why I always put colors under my eyes, is so you can't see the creasing. I'm going to apply these Amazon A11 lashes. I'll link them down below. I just stacked 2 of them. I'm just going to apply a thick strip of the Duo clear white eyelash adhesive, and I'm going to let that sit for a minute because I'm putting a big strip on there. You want to let it sit for at least 90 seconds to get tacky before you apply it. Now I'm going to apply my Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara to my upper and lower lashes. I'm going to line my lips with the Jordana 12-hour Made to Last eyeshadow pencil. I heard about this like 3 years ago from Posh. What's her name? You can make almost any lip color flatter you with a brown lip pencil. Oh, it's so pretty. Okay, first I'm gonna apply the NYX Butter Gloss in the shade Madeline. That got very dark, so now I'm gonna go in with Fortune Cookie, I believe. Yes. Now I'm gonna go in with Fortune Cookie just to lighten that up a bit. I just applied my lashes off camera, and I'm gonna take my hair out and come back for slow-mos.
I see you adore me. I see. Hey, I'll play again. Head on my chest, hand on my eyes. I'll play again. Back it up on your breathing, baby.